Oh boy, just finished making this video and it turned out it didn't have any sound the whole time, so here we go again. If you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you've come to know that I don't like WeTech. That I hate WeTech. If you've seen the last review, you know that for a fact. Fuck WeTech! That's the end of my review. But I am going to make an exception to this. Years ago I used to own a WeTech G39, but it turned out to be a piece of shit. It never really worked right, the gas consumption was terrible, it pretty much just spew everything out. But I'm making an exception for this. I got this WeTech G39 gas blowback rifle upgraded with a Future Soldier stock and upper rail, 3 magazines, and a really fugly folding grip and a fugly stubby suppressor that I pretty much just gave away. So I got this whole thing for 120 bucks, really good deal. Originally I just wanted to sell it, but I must say, I really like this gun again. The external build quality and the way it shoots is really impressive, and I'm just really liking the gun. I've already used it in Airsoft for an entire day, and it worked the whole time. So I must say I don't like WeTech, but I like this gun because the previous owner who sold it to me upgraded it with a 500 FPS nozzle. I'm pretty sure he said he changed the bolt with a different kind of bolt, and he said it's got custom internals. I've taken a look at them. They all look pretty much the same as my old WeTech, but I think some of the parts have been switched out for better performance. Obviously with the 500 FPS bolt you can't use it in game, so I had to buy these 28 gram Elite Force BBs that were ridiculously expensive, $22, and then I am using propane in it. So I have already used this gun for a full day of Airsoft. Only one of the magazines worked, however, but I made good use of it, and I would just switch to my FNX every time I ran out of ammo. But I had a lot of fun with it. The recoil is just so much fun. It's so much more fun to use a gas plug rifle than to use an AEG all day. You sacrifice a lot of ammo capacity, but there's a lot of firepower, and it was chronoed at 395 with the 28s, so barely legal, but very, very fun to use. The WeTech gas plug rifle is designed and takes apart just like the real G36, so it is incredibly robust and made out of some really tough polymer. So originally I did want to sell this gun, but I've decided to keep it because I'm just really happy with the gun overall. I love the Future Soldier stock. I have 3 magazines and the 2 that I need to fix. 2 side rails which were painted yellow, which I just put paint stripper on, and the yellow crap came right off. So I'm going to start in the front and work my way back talking about features. It came with a fugly folding grip and a fugly suppressor, but I've switched it out for some better stuff. Here I have my Gemtech Black Slide. It's attached to the 14mm outer barrel, and then I have my PTS ankle foregrip. I chose not to run the rails because I only have 2 screws to the rails and I don't really have any side attachments, so I just didn't put anything on there. In the very front we have the flip up Future Soldier rail sight, and I like these sights a lot. I think I prefer them over the regular G36 sights, and you'll notice that the Future Soldier rail is just kind of thin. There's no like triangles right here like the original G36. The charging handle is very easy to break on the original WeTech, but this one's been replaced with what appears to be an Angel Custom steel one. So that I'm really happy about. You can just let it go at full force and you're not going to have a breaking charging handle like the original WeTech. Moving down the body we have the WeTech trades. I'm thinking about getting the realistic sticker for this. And then there's your trigger and your magazine release. And then your fire selector switch. Fire selector switch on this gun is really good, really positive. Flips into position really well. And it's not going to accidentally like move around like in the middle or nothing. It's a good positive click and really easy to manipulate. The trigger pull on this is actually really nice, really short too, right there. Underneath is the bolt release, and I have a magazine with no ammo. So empty magazine, locks back, and then you can either power stroke it like a real G36, or, well, this thing's very realistic overall, pretty much everything. It's really close to the real thing. There's the bolt release underneath it. Just press up on it and it releases the bolt. Since we're in the area, we're going to talk about magazines. These are G36 mags, so they can be stacked next to each other, but I wouldn't recommend it on the WeTech because I did this when I bought the gun and I got out of my car, started messing with it, and these two magazines, hold up, these two mags fell off because these little things here to do the stacking, they actually come out. So very bad design. If you want to stack your mags, I recommend you glue these in because they'll come out very easily. And then these two mags went tumbling to the ground and this feeding lip broke off, so very sad. These are the two non-working magazines that were included. They didn't have fill valves, but I replaced this one with a fill valve from a free mag that I used to have. It holds gas, but it doesn't, when it strikes, it doesn't release enough gas to blow back the bolt, which I didn't realize until I was on the field. So
a G36 is being gay, dude. It's being gay. It's a Springer.
a little disappointing, but obviously this one needs a fill valve and new feeding lips, and then this one just needs some internal work. So I did fill this gun, but I was only able to use one magazine the whole day, so I just kept switching to my pistol pretty much every match. A nice thing about these G36 magazines that I found is that they hold gas really well. I was able to airsoft the whole day, and each time I never ran out of gas. I was just running out of ammo the whole time. You could probably get about 3 magazines worth on one fill if you do it for at least, I think, 5 seconds, maybe more, because it is a big magazine. You can fit a lot of gas in here. But overall, cooldown was not an issue. I think it was a little warm that day. And even in the cold, it was really cold earlier and raining, and I was shooting in the backyard, and it was still at full power. Magazine capacity, of course, for a gas pellet is going to be a little low. I just counted, it only holds 32 rounds. So this is the magazine, goes into the gun very nicely. Really good fit, of course, since it's all polymer and it's based on the HK G36. Then we get towards the back of the gun. Here we have the rear future soldier sight. It's kind of weird. I don't realize why it has holes on every single side of the sight, because you only have one sight picture available. And I like it a lot, and I think it's better than a regular G36 sight. It's more accurate. Then we have one sling point on that side, and then 2 more down here in the front. Here we have the future soldier stock. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the rifle. I love the future soldier stock and how it's got this opening here, so that on a real G36 your spent cases can still fly out the side through the middle of the stock. It's a very nice stock. I love the whole future soldier upgrades that have been put on this gun. Makes it very attractive. It has a cheek riser right here. Just press this button in. I'm pretty sure it's only 2 positions, so there's the 1 and then there's the 2, so only 2 positions. But cheek riser, really good thing to have, common on the SCAR platform. And then we have the rest of the stock, very comfortable. You have a serrated buttstock and this cool design. These 3 holes are for disassembly and the pins. And then right here is this button, kind of well hidden. Couldn't find it right away when I first got it. You press on it like this and it retracts the stock. So you have a multi-position stock with a cheek riser. Well worth the money. This is a really cool upgrade for G36s. This gun is really easy to take apart. It's just 3 pins pretty much. So then you have your mag well and your trigger box. So here's the trigger box. Seems like everything in here is working well. My original WeTech did not work very well, and I think there was even some issues in here as well. But this WeTech is working 100% well. Whoever built this gun did some good work to it, and there's no bullshit going on. Fully operational. and very good. Apparently he said it's got upgraded internals, but everything in here pretty much looks regular. Don't really see anything out of the ordinary, any custom parts. But apparently it's custom, so screw it. I have to take off the suppressor in order to get the front handguard off. So there's your barrel. Very realistic to the HK. And mine, I couldn't get the flash shutter off. I'm pretty sure it was hot glued on, and there was hot glue all over the barrel. It was a total mess. But as you can tell, this one is very clean. Okay, then to get the bolt out, fold the stock, and I had a bit of trouble with this, but it kind of go down at an angle. You gotta kind of get this thing out of there. It's pretty hard to do. Haven't just figured out the trick yet. Okay, you just gotta wiggle it, and then out comes your recoil spring assembly, and then you can take out your bolt. So here is your G39 bolt with the metal charging handle, and apparently this is the 500 FPS nozzle. And he said so that the guy who sold it to me said this is a new bolt, and he had some trouble putting it in. That's why it's got these wear marks on it. But the gun cycles very smoothly, so he obviously solved whatever problems came with this new bolt. It looks kind of like a stock bolt to me, but I'm just gonna take the guy's word for it. And yeah, so that's the bolt. This assembly, really easy, just like the real thing. So you gotta hand it to Wee for replicating this thing so well. Whew, really noisy planes, always fucking up the videos. A lot of noise in this area. Really easy to put together since everything is just polymer broken down into these 3 pieces. A tip to follow when putting the trigger box back into the gun is to make sure it's on semi-auto, or else it will not go all the way in. Had a bit of a hang up there. Alright, so really easy to take apart and put back together. Probably do it on the field if you have to. I did have a jam at the end of the day where there was a BB stuck in the nozzle that wouldn't allow the gun to cycle or the mag to go in. But other than that, this gun had no malfunctions the entire day. I used a whole lot of semi-auto. Didn't really use full auto. I think I just did like 1 burst full auto, and that was about it. But that is the WeTech G39 fully operational gas blowback rifle. I really like the gun. It is incredibly robust. It's one of the best features I found about my last G36, my WeTech G36. There aren't really any videos on the channel about it because they were bad videos with a non-working gun pretty much. But the gun is back. A bit of a revisit here. I was gonna sell it, decided to keep it because this thing is awesome. I love shooting it. I love the way it looks with the Future Soldier kit and the suppressor and the angle foregrip, stuff I didn't have before, and I couldn't even put it on there before because I couldn't get the flash shutter off. The iron sights are fantastic. I love the build quality of the nanofiber polymer that WeTech uses. Yeah, so very happy with this gun. Only $120 on Craigslist. It was a pretty good find and a pretty good deal. Stay tuned for a full-length review. There was a full day's worth of gameplay that will be coming out. And I'll end this video with a quick shooting test. Stay tuned. I think I forgot to mention this last time, that if it's on safe, the weapon cannot be tracked. So you gotta flip it into semi-auto in order to chamber it around.